Hello, custom car enthusiasts, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. In the last episode, we went ahead and did a story mission, so now we sort of just need to get to the next level. So let's see what we have available to us. We have this Del Rey Imperator, the Maserati Sebring, which does look nice there. We might do that. We've got a Dodge Ram. We've got a custom car there. We've got the Salem Spectre Fastback. I think I'm going to go with the Maserati, though. Something a little bit different. So we have to repair all engine faults, put new engine oil filter, fix suspension clunks and rattles, general running gear control and repair, and the car's hard control. Brake system needs fixing. So, quite a bit to do, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so definitely a worn car here. Will it run? That's the first question. Let's see. Let's try taking it to test path. Yeah, cannot start the engine. So we're going to have to start with the engine here, quite obviously. So we'll take it to car lifter A, get it slightly elevated, and take a look at what we got going on with the engine here. It is a nice car. I mean, nice classic car, so I do like that. Alright, so a lot of faults there. Oil filter, oil change, not a problem there. Suspension clunks and rattles. I mean, this is just a ton to do on this vehicle, so we shall see what we get up to here. Alright, first things first, I think I'm going to pull the engine out. Seems a bit extreme, but since I have to do the suspension and everything else, might as well. So let's get here, get the drive shaft off. That way it's just a bit simpler to see what we're working with here. We have to drain the oil in any case, so might as well go ahead and do that right now. And then we can pull the engine easier. It just seems like all the things together sort of are saying pull that engine out. Just make life easier. Alright, so we can remove this now, put it back where it goes. Now we can drop the engine down. Oh wait, we have to take the gearbox off still. My mistake. Alright. There's the starter. And we have to do it from the engine bay. Alright. But yeah, I do like doing different vehicles on the channel. Just something to add interest both for myself and for anybody who's watching, because I think it's more entertaining than just doing the same standard vehicles over and over again. And I mean, definitely a Maserati is always interesting to me, especially one of these more classic ones. I mean, I have an appreciation for the classic cars myself, so why not do one here in the workshop? Alright, take that gearbox off. There we go. Now we should be able to pull the engine, I believe. We'll get it lowering down. We'll go over here, get the engine hoist. And we'll move it into position. Alright. Move the engine first, unmount front exhaust. Okay, so one more thing to still do. Not sure that I always have to do the front exhaust on all the cars when I take the engine out, but this one definitely we have to, so. Alright, front exhaust section, and this is going to be accessible from the engine bay because we have to do the manifolds for this one. Alright. My thought on this is I'm going to record everything as far as fixing the car in its entirety. I'll see how long that is actually overall, because I don't know how long that's going to take. And then I'll decide if it's good for one video or if I really should split it into two videos. So for right now, I'm aiming to do everything in one video, but we will have to see. Alright, now I believe the exhaust is going to come out the bottom here. There we go. Lower it down again. And now we can go ahead and use this engine crane to pull out that engine. Perfect. You go ahead back to where you belong. We'll go ahead and put the engine here. There we go. And I mean, I could look at the other stuff, but I'd rather take it out on the test track and try it out. So, we are going to disassemble this engine fully, because once again, it's part of the reason I selected this car is it's a neat old car. I want to actually enjoy it. So, we're going to take everything off, then we'll see what we need. I'll get the parts, we'll repair it as need be. Can already see major differences from a lot of the vehicles I work on with the carburetor setup over here on the side, but I appreciate it. Alright, that's off. Let's get that ignition coil and the fuel filter that are just sort of flying in midair there. The block itself looks like it's probably bad, so realistically we did have to disassemble the entire thing in order to get to the block. Alright. Decent amount of spark plugs here. You know, I didn't rotate this engine over, but it seems like it was almost put on the hoist on its side. Yeah, it was, because here's the oil pan. So the carburetors weren't on this side. It's just interesting that it rotated on the hoist like that. Really an enormous crankshaft for a car. Yeah, we'll get this engine taken care of, then we'll go ahead and put it on a test path and the test track. See what we need to do as far as the underside. I mean, I can definitely see some issues with the underside, but you know what? I want to test it out myself, see what's going on with it. Alright, so we got all that off. Let's go ahead and step back out. Want the hoist. Let's rotate. Nah, that wasn't the direction I wanted, but that'll work. We'll just do it 3 times in order to get there. This way I can sort of see the engine as it should be. Alright, get that distributor cap off. Rotor looks fine. There definitely is some serious wear and tear though on the front of this vehicle. As I said, the block itself looks bad, so most likely we would have had to disassemble everything to get to the block, no matter what, so I don't feel too bad about doing it this way. Alright. Now that we're up top again, let's go ahead and take off the head cover. I mean, now if this was my vehicle, I would want to go ahead and take it down to the point where I could really clean up a lot of these parts. You know what? I might even try that on this one. I might try repairing some of these parts to make them better than they were. Haven't really tried that on the channel yet, so might go ahead and do that. See what happens. Worst case, if I break something, I guess, I'll go ahead and have to replace it. So not the end of the world. Timing sprocket's got to go, then the timing chain can go. Now we can get these cam gears off. And now we have all of these camshaft caps. Because this camshaft definitely looks bad as it is. So, definitely is going to take some work here. Probably the most extensive work I've done on one of these cars that I just select to work on. But that's alright by me. As I said, it's a different kind of car. I'm interested by it, so we'll have fun seeing what we can do here. Right? Camshafts come off. The engine head comes off. Now we've got to get the pistons out. And if any of these are bad, then most likely I'll end up replacing them all because can't really do one at a time with that kind of thing. So, we'll see. Let's go over here though and let's give this a try. We got the repair bench here. Let's try the engine head cover. Alright, so it cost us 21 bucks to give it a shot. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, now what do I have to do to it here? Alright, so we repaired it some. Hey, we fully repaired it, looks like. The alternator here? Fully repaired it too. Looks like we're doing a decent amount of repairs overall. It is costing us some money, but you know what? See what we get when we get this all done. I've got the money to spend, so I'm not too worried about that. Alright, so there's no items to work with. Now let's see here. In my inventory. Alright, so these items are just beyond repair. So, let's get everything lined up here. See what we have to work with and what we don't. Alright, so I need a clutch. So I need some pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and purchase these. Like this one, now that these other ones are 100%, I'll just replace the ones I need to. So, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's see how this goes. I think I've actually saved some money by doing that. And since I'm able to, why not? Alright, so I think we have all the parts now. So let's go ahead and get back to reassembling this engine. So we have the brand new engine block, which definitely was expensive. Pretty much, I mean, the repairs were great, and they did save us some money, but some of the most expensive parts on the car still had to be replaced. So, it's going to cost a decent amount overall, but it is what it is. When you've got a high-performance vehicle like this, you're going to have to deal with those costs. Alright, now I'd like to go ahead and rotate the engine and work on everything on the bottom. Let's go ahead and get the crankshaft mounted securely here with the bearing caps. I only need to buy one new one of those, so that's a good thing, I'd say. Save some money that way. And everything that we're putting into the car is now at 100%, so I believe, even though some of the parts were just repaired, it should be perfectly fine. Alright, that one goes in. I know we should, in theory, go around to the air side, but this way I can do the rod caps here fairly quickly. Alright, get the flywheel in place. So some of the parts I think very realistically you just can't repair, because once they're worn out, they're worn out, especially rubber bushings or anything like that, which makes sense. And then there are other parts I think that just when they're so badly damaged, they just have to be replaced fully, which also, very realistic. I have no problem with that. I do like the repair feature though. It does make life a little bit easier. Alright, now let's go ahead and rotate the engine again. And now we can work on it from this angle. Let's put the head in place. We've got the carburetors here. These are brand new. Well, no, the carburetors are not. I think some of them have been repaired. Carbs I didn't buy. The air filters on top of the carbs here, these are brand new. But yeah, I think in the future I might very well do that of just trying to repair everything I can. Oh, wow. Don't know why there's that one camshaft cap. Thought I had repaired everything. Oh, I didn't do this stuff up here. My mistake. So, I will once again be right back. Alright, so basically it's almost everything dealing with the camshafts is what I was having to, that I had not fixed before. So now we've got that resolved. Let's put the camshaft in place. Let's get all these caps in place here for it. Did mean a decent amount of extra money, but that's not really my call. It needed it for the car. And these parts evidently cannot be repaired or restored. They just have to be purchased new. Alright, that's all in place. Get this one done as well. And pretty much everything up here now is fully replaced, other than the one camshaft that was good by itself, just the way it was. There we go. Last one of those. These are just going to be sort of floating here in midair for right now, but you know what? We'll put them in place just anyways. Alright. There we go. Wasn't giving me the prompt for that. Now I need to put the timing chain and its sprocket in place. Now I can put the cover over it, which will allow me to put the ignition distributor. Get those little clips in place. Crankshaft pulley can go on. Now that looks a lot better, and I think those parts, all I did was clean them up. But I am proud of the way they cleaned up. They look a lot better now. Let's go ahead and put all these brand new spark plugs in place. Quite a few of them here to go through. I think there's 12 in total. And I have made the decision I am going to fix the car fully in this one episode. We'll see how long the episode ends up being, but we are going to do our best to do so. Now, realistically, I'm probably not going to record it all at the same time because my wife and I have some plans out of the house today. So once I get it up and running, most likely I'm going to stop on my work for right now, but I'll come back to it and you'll see it all in one video. So there we go. Engine, I believe, is fully rebuilt now. We've got the exhaust parts. We have the drive shaft. We have the radiator fan we still need to put in place, and the serpentine belts. Alright, so not quite done yet. There we go. Get that stuff in place. Now it should be good to go. Yep. Yeah, all those parts are installed on the car. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the jack back so we can put it in where it goes. Pop that hood open. Alright, move that to car lifter A. Let's go ahead and take this off the stand. And let's go ahead and install that engine. Looks nice in there. Alright, you can go away. I do want to definitely test drive this before I end the episode. So I will go ahead and do as much of this stuff as I can right now. Let's see. Should be able to add the exhaust on and the gearbox. There we go. Now we need to get under the car to put in, well, actually, before we lower it, I believe I should be able to put in the drive shaft as well. There we go. Might as well do that while I'm down here. Alright, so that's good to go. Add the starter in first. Perfect. Now we can go over here, take care of the oil. Let's fill it up with oil. There we go. Alright, so as far as the engine's concerned, this car should tick all the boxes now. Yeah, engine's taken care of, the oil has been taken care of, so now we're to the other issues going on with the car. And we haven't dealt with any of them yet. So, my thought is here, let's start with the basics here. Let's use our testing gear. So we'll do from the top and we'll work our way around. Car doesn't have an OBD port. Makes sense with the age of the car. Fuel pressure test. Should be good, I would think now, but you never know. It could be something wrong with the gas tank. Fuel pump, a little bit on the lacking side, but I think that should still be okay as far as the car is concerned. Tire treads, I have no idea on. They're fair, not great, but fair. See how the battery's doing here. It's alright. And we'll do the compression test, even though we really don't need to, because the engine should be good to go. that's all good to go. Alright. So, now with the engine being good, let's go ahead and move the car to the test path. I want to hear what this car sounds like and take a seat inside of it for the first time. It is definitely worn on the inside here. Don't know why somebody would allow a car like this to become as seedy as this. Deserves better. Yeah, brakes are shot. Rear brakes are better, but not great. Engine does sound nice though. Front suspension's not too bad. Back suspension's very bad. Alright. Guessing that did not find everything though. No, we're still needing parts to be discovered. So let's go ahead and take it out on the test path and see what we find out there. Or on the test track, I should say. Alright, the engine's definitely got some horsepower to it, so that's good. I mean, it is a Maserati, you would think it should. Yeah, tires are definitely not holding the road too well. Alright, not a bad test drive. Didn't hit anything with it, so that's good. I mean, especially with as rusty as it is, I think it would fall apart if it hit too much. Ew. Yeah, it's pretty bad off though. So let's move it back to the lift and see what we see underneath. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Alright, so definitely going to have to take a decent amount off the front here, and a decent amount off the back as well. So, I'm just going to replace all the rubber bushings, obviously, with doing this much work to it. No sense in not doing that. But as I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. Well, at least my recording of this episode. It'll come back here in a moment for you, and you'll be able to watch the rest of the video yourself. But I will continue the assembly when I get back. Alright, so how do I want to approach this? I think I'll try doing it one wheel at a time, as I've done before. Hopefully then we won't have as many repair costs. So we'll take this one off. That definitely needs to come off. Gonna fully disassemble this entire wheel, because it definitely looks like there are parts that need it here. Well, that plan's gonna go out the window because this leaf spring drive axle is not good. So we're gonna have to disassemble the whole back end. Was hoping to save a few bucks, but just doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Alright, and I'm also going to have to take off the new drive shaft again, because I'm going to need to remove that back end. Alright, got that off. I will do the back end before I do the front end. That way, maybe I won't have all the parts to replace, but we'll see how it goes. Seems like on this particular car, they're doing just the right parts that make me have to disassemble everything anyways. Which, I mean, I don't complain about too much. I like the disassembly process, and I like repairing it with good quality parts. Just trying to be a bit more responsible to the owner of the car and not charge them as much money on everything. You know what? Let's take these wheels apart too to see how they're doing. So let's go ahead and separate. Yeah, decent amount of parts here I'm going to need to replace. Alright, get that one. Separate this one as well. Looks like they're actually technically good. Probably didn't need to separate them, but we shall see here. Yeah, the wheels are actually serviceable the way they are. So I'll go ahead and order the different parts. I'll put the wheels back together and get them balanced, and we'll go ahead and reassemble the back end. Actually, before I do that though, let's go over here, see if there's any parts that we can repair on the repair bench. Hey, you know what? I actually feel like the repair bench is working out for me alright, because I think I repaired one of those wheels fully on its own, so. Let's see here. Install. Yeah, we've got a good wheel there. So let's go ahead and install the tire onto the wheel. It's not a great tire, but you know what? I don't have to replace it. And there's no way to repair a tire, so that one's not surprising. Did we actually do the other one as well, or was it only... Yeah, we did both of them. Perfect. So that was worthwhile, actually. Alright, so I'll get these balanced, and I'll get the other parts ordered that I need, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so I got all the parts bought, got that tire ready, so let's go to the back end here, and let's start installing. I have to say, actually, working on repairing parts, it's making me happy, because I'm getting parts that are higher quality now, so the car looks more refreshed. And I do appreciate that. I like the car looking new. So, gonna do that much more in the future here. Let's rebuild this side first. Alright. The only part there that wasn't repaired was the brake shoe. Probably I could have just replaced that as well. But as I said, I mean, this is a customer's car. I'm trying not to spend too much of his money. So on things that are more just my desire there, not going to spend it on him. But definitely when I get a car from a barn or something like that, I'm going to take everything pretty much apart, repair everything I can, and anything I can't, then I'm going to replace. Because I definitely want those going out of my shop at 100%. I just need to get to where I'm spraying them, so that way I can get the paint. And then we'll start doing those vehicles. Come on. Let me view. There we go. I already put those on. Whoa. Why did I not replace that? Yeah, let's get that off. You know, come to think of it, on this side, let's take this wheel back off. Not sure why I didn't buy these parts new, but you know what? With everything else being new on this car, I want these parts to be replaced as well. Yeah, not sure why I did not get that replaced. Really uncertain on that. But let's get 2 brake drums and we'll get the drum wheel cylinder. Alright. Really thought I had gotten all the parts. These are not expensive, so we'll get those new. And then drum wheel cylinder. That way everything's shiny and new on the back end. No reason to have these junked out parts. That one can't even be used. And it looks like when I got to the second wheel here, I would have had to deal with it anyways because that was just garbage. Alright, now we've got it looking nice in the back end here. Alright. Junky car, but at least the actual pieces now look good. Wish I could do something about, like, the rust on the car. But not what I've been tasked with, so I probably shouldn't put those prices forward to the customer. As I said, I don't have a repainting booth yet, so can't deal with it too much myself. Alright, so we took care of the back end. Let's take care of the front end now. And since we did such a job on the back end, I'm taking it all apart and we will redo everything here. So as I said, probably some of this I could have just left the way it was, but you know, especially with repairing some of the parts now, even the ones that aren't worn through where they have to be replaced, might as well repair them. It's a few dollars, and that way the product that's coming out of my shop is that much better. sort of interesting in the fact that you've pretty much seen in this video me changing strategies from just buying everything and not worrying about repairing to now, if I can, let's repair it. Because of the fact that in the past, if it was a yellow or something, I wouldn't have bothered to repair it. But now, since I can repair it, and it doesn't cost that much, why not put in something that looks better? Alright, so first thing we gotta do is go over the spring puller here and separate these parts out, because some of those are going to definitely need some repair or replacing. Yeah, like this one probably just needs to be replaced in total. But who knows, I might be able to repair them. And I was able to. I mean, those were some red parts and they got repaired. Alright, so took care of a lot of the parts that we had. Oh, we should separate the wheels as well. Almost forgot that. That way we can repair the wheels themselves. Can't repair the tires, but at least the wheels, so that way they look nice on the car. I mean, really then all he needs to do is the body work on his car, and he's actually going to have something really decent afterwards. So I'm proud of it. There we go. So I'll go ahead and reassemble the wheels, and I'll go order the parts that we need, and then I'll be right back again. Alright, so the springs have been compressed, the wheels have been balanced, so let's get back to reassembly here. And again, now everything we're putting on the front end is going to be 100%, so I appreciate that. I really like the way it is. For me, it just sort of makes it where I don't feel like I'm putting a half-finished product out the door. I mean, I can't do the body work because he didn't say to, but you know what? We did everything else that we could do for him. I just love how shiny and new everything looks. Alright, we're not going to put the wheel on yet, just to make sure I didn't miss anything on that side. And I already can see I did because we have rubber bushing still to put in on that side. And it's just easier when the wheel is not in the way. There we go. That's been a lot of work that went into this car, but I'm actually really proud of the product we're turning out with it. I know it won't look like much, but at least functionally, this car should go perfectly. And the only things we have left are the two wheels, so we are good to go. Perfect. Now let's see here. Everything's taken off that list. That list is good. That list is good. That one's good. That's good. And that's good. So everything has been taken care of perfectly fine. Let's lower it down. Get a nice last look at the vehicle here. I mean, as I said, definitely needs a paint job and some body work, but as far as the runnings, it's a good car now. So we spent $4,920. We made an enormous profit on it. So really refurbishing those parts was a great idea there for me. Now, we haven't reached the next level, I don't think yet. I think we still have a ways to go. Yeah, we still have a ways to go. And this is the level I'm wanting to get to. So we have to get to level 30 before we get that part and such. 50% off trips to the junkyard and barns. That'll be nice, but I'm going to start doing the trips to the junkyard and barns after I get through this. Basically, I want to have the paint shop. The dyno would be nice as well. So, really, level 30 is where I need to get to for it. Oh, this would be a nice one to get as well. So once we get to level 25, we'll definitely look at getting that. What else do we have here? Parts examination, parts examination, parts examination. Installing and removing parts. That's probably the next one I'll get. Yeah, I'm not too worried about those. This one and this one I will definitely want to get once I can. And then once we get to here, this will be when it's really good for us. See if there's any vehicles that just jump out at me right now for our next vehicle. Oh, there's a Hellcat. We've done one of those before, though. I have to say, really nothing was jumping out at me other than this Volkswagen here. Car is hard to control, suspension rattling, general running gear and repair, poor brake performance, car is loud. You know what? Let's go ahead and purchase this, bring it in, and so we've got our next vehicle set up. And who in the world's going with this red on teal green color combination? That's awesome though. We got a little toilet in there, we got a little cooker, a little refrigerator. I think this would be really fun to have. And I love that they left their surfboard on top even though they brought it in for the work. I mean, it's obviously a Volkswagen bus, but they can't say that here on the game. Evidently, they don't have the rights from Volkswagen. So hopefully, by moving it to the lifter, when I play the next time, we will still have the car here. It won't have disappeared on me, because that does seem to happen in the game once in a while. It's very annoying when it does. So hopefully this will still be here. You know what? Real fast, let me go ahead and... didn't want to lift it up, but that's fine. Okay, I can move it from here anyways, yeah. Let's move it to the test path. It should be a runner, so let's go ahead and do the test on it, which will hopefully then ensure that we keep the vehicle so we have it for next episode. Definitely could use a headliner in here, but alright. Driving this on the test track is going to be a different story. Front brakes are shot. Rear brakes are shot. We're not going to do the test track right now. We're just going to do the test path here. As I said, just try to get it where hopefully the car will be here for us when we get to the next episode. Front suspensions got problems. Rear suspension's actually alright. So, not the worst thing in the world. Those parts are not discovered yet. Those are half discovered. Those are about 2/3 discovered, it looks like. Mostly discovered, and car is loud. It's going to be exhaust with that. Alright, so let's move it back over to the lift, and we're going to end this episode then. If you enjoyed what I did in the episode, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all again for more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.